Hi, I'm Nadia Atmaji.
And I'm Ippolita and I. Welcome to the Media and Tech podcast.
We are digital media master students at UCL London.
In this podcast, we're going to invite prominent speakers from the digital world.
And we're gonna discuss the intersection of media and technology. Enjoy the podcast. Hey guys, so we have received so many questions on the question box. Now we're gonna answer one by one.
Yes.
Yay.
So the first question is, what is the Media and Tech podcast?
So the Media and Tech podcast is a podcast where we will discuss a lot of issues regarding the digital media world.
Yeah, so our idea is to invite speakers from different disciplines relating to technology in order to gain different perspectives and educate you about the things we learn in our masters.
Yeah.
Okay, so the second question we received was, why did you guys decide to make a podcast?
Yeah, so I was a law graduate and I worked as a journalist for 5 years, and then I love with this journalism study, and I think I want to pursue digital media studies for my master's. Apparently I loved it, and I was thinking I want to share it to you guys because previously in my YouTube I usually share about traveling in London. Meanwhile, this program is so interesting, so I was thinking I need a friend, a partner to have this podcast. So I asked Ippo, and yeah,
so one day Nadia texted me and she asks, do you want to do a podcast with me? And we met in a coffee shop near UCL, and that's where it all started. As for me, I enjoy trying out new things. I really like my master's in digital media, and so I think this is a great opportunity to kind of transfer some of the knowledge I gained there to a wider audience. So yeah, here we are.
Yeah, and also I really like the multicultural, where we are from different countries. I'm from Indonesia and Ippolita is from Italy. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think this kind of multicultural will also bring several perspectives during this podcast, not only from what we learn in the English or British education, but also from our own experience during what we already gained back in Indonesia and back in Italy as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the third question is, what is the MA in Digital Media at UCL like?
Yeah, so there are two options for the MA. People can either do 12 months and it's full-time, or part-time for 2 years. And this is good if you are working and want to study at the same time. Quite a few people are doing it in our class. And essentially, the MA is about exploring phenomena in the digital world and society through a lens of like cultural media studies and media studies. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I learned a lot of new knowledge here, and it's really interesting to understand the new media. Like, for example, we learn about platforms like Facebook, Netflix, and Spotify, but then we scrutinize this platform through the perspective of the theories from the cultural studies, like Foucault for Panopticon theory, or Raymond Williams or Paul Duguay about circuit of culture. So yeah, that's new for me. But then when I met Ippolita, it's like not so new for her. So I kind of learned a lot from her as well. Next question. What are the classes like in your MA? So there are 3 routes in this MA Digital Media. First one is critical studies, education route, and then production route. For us, we took the critical studies route.
Yeah, and then also another essential feature is that there are core modules and
optional modules.
Yes, and optional modules. So for example, our core modules are digital media theory and inquiry, and we have to take them. And then optional modules, you can just pick them, and you can pick them from other departments as well, which is very interesting. Me and Nadia this year we're doing an internet cultures module for which we had to create a blog, which was really great.
Actually, internet culture is from other route, which is the education route. For critical studies route, the optional modules are gender and digital media, games and play, and what else?
And then the other
mobile
one,
media and
mobile,
plays.
yes, you forgot because we are going to take it this summer.
For the third term. Yeah, and for other routes, as far as I remember, the education route has for the optional modules internet culture, moving image production, and I kind of forgot.
It's okay. Regardless, whatever route you take, at the end you need to do either a report or a dissertation, and the dissertation is 20,000 words, which is quite a lot. We chose to do a report because it's a bit easier, and you get to do an extra module, which is fun. You get to learn about something new. So yeah, that's pretty much
how the class is like.
So another question we received was, what is the environment at UCL like?
Yeah, as an international student, I feel like it's very supportive in terms of the teaching, because sometimes I feel like I struggle when I write the essay. There is an academic writing center where I can take webinars regularly, studying about probably reading critically, or like how to have authoritative voice in the essay. And if I ask questions to the tutor through email or through an like a website called Moodle for our teaching correspondence, I feel like they're so open to answering questions and in a way nourishing us with new knowledge and guiding us through the process.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. I mean, I was at UCL before this master's as well, and at the end of my undergraduate, I was really sad to leave. So the fact that I got to remain for one more year through a master's, I was really happy about that. I really like the environment. I think there are so many people from different countries, and it's very multicultural, which makes it really great. And the life on campus is also really nice. There are always people sitting on the grass around, and it feels really nice. Yeah,
also what really different from my undergraduate back in Indonesia, also I got to triggered to be more critical during the class, and they're like very open to discussion, and even the dynamic is very high. We can ask any questions during the class, and also the cohort as well is very cool, like people students coming from China, and then Russia, Italy, and also Turkey. So I really love being in such a multicultural environment like in UCL.
The other question we received was, what is the teaching method like?
Well, it's interesting because we have hybrid method where we have offline classes as well as online classes.
Yeah, and I mean, compared to my undergraduate, I don't think there are like that many classes, because per module we only have 2 hours a week. One of them is a lecture and the other one is a seminar. And
what's the difference between lecture and seminar?
Okay, so the lecture, it's just you viewing the lecture, and they're usually online. And then you can ask some questions at the end. And the seminar is sometimes in person, other times online, and you're divided into small groups. It's more discussion based, this is good because you have a lot of free time to do independent study, as well as pursue personal hobbies or passions around London, which is a great city. You can do a lot of things.
Yeah, exactly. How's your day-to-day like usually? For example, like in a week we have only 2 days for the classes, and then afterwards for me, I take the academic writing center classes, and then I can like create content because I have my own YouTube channel as well. So it's really also advantageous for me to have the classes not so busy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Right now I'm looking for a job, so I do a lot of job applications, which is quite boring. And then I go running in the park, and then sometimes I might go to a museum, or I'm just studying, catching up on my readings and stuff like that.
Yeah. Even though we don't have that many classes, our reading list is so many, so we have to catch up with the reading as well.
Yeah.
The next question is, what are some examples of projects you undertook in the MA?
Yeah, so one of my projects which I enjoyed the most was on QR codes. I really like doing this because there isn't a lot of literature on QR codes. It's something that became really popular during the pandemic, even though it's been around for the last 20 years. And so it was kind of a challenge because I had to find information from other sources and kind of come up with my own theory about QR codes, and I really enjoyed that. And
Is it an essay?
Yeah, this was an essay, and it was a 5,000 word essay, so quite big. And then I included pictures which I took of Rome and London in it as well. It was a really good project. Our grades are actually coming out tomorrow, so fingers crossed. And then another project which I really enjoyed was the blog for the Internet Cultures module. We had to create a website on WordPress. This was the first time I was doing something like this, and mine is on search engines and how to navigate the internet efficiently. But also Nadia, actually, she also did a blog. What was yours about?
It's about my London diary, where I travel across London and I give recommendations about the best coffee shops in London, or like the best museums that you should visit and free. That's something like simple, but it's quite handy for people who never come to London and want to explore it in an easy way and just click the website and know where to go. So because my YouTube channel is also about this, so I feel like it's gonna be not a lot of work to do to just like translate from the YouTube script to this blog. So it's rather fun for me in a way, because I have a lot of pretty pictures as well, and then just embed it to the blog. And in terms of the essay, I was writing about self-presentation online in the political figures, like the ministers in Indonesia, and how they portray it for the near election in 2024. So it's really interesting to see the escalation of their interaction is very high, like compared to like previous years. They're not really care about their social media. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, and the next question is, where do you usually study? So UCL is great because it offers a lot of places, which are often full sometimes, so you should book in advance. But some of the great places are the student center.
Yes.
Also because it's new. I don't know if you know, but it wasn't there before. Like 2 years ago.
When you did undergrad, it was there.
It was they opened it while I was doing the undergrad, so it's fairly new. There's also the main library, and there's kind of a big room which looks kind of ancient and old, and I think it's really nice. And then the IOE
library.
As well. And actually, there's another place which is not UCL, but the Senate
Library. It's very close to UCL, but it's very recommended for you to check out if you are going to UCL.
Yeah, it's really nice as well.
Is there any cafe nearby the UCL? Yes, there are so many, but there are several cafes that we like to go. For example, Waterstones. It's Gower Street, I think.
Right next to the engineering building.
Yeah, there is a cafe like beside the Waterstone. Waterstone is the bookstores, the big bookstores. You should check out. It's really cool. There are several stories of the bookstore, and beside the Waterstone, there is this cafe. It's called Dylan. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really nice.
In fact, that's the cafe where we meet up and discuss about the podcast.
Yeah, that's true.
Also in Store Street, nearby Gore Street as well, there's this Store Espresso Cafe that provides great coffee. Yeah.
Yes. And the last question we have is how is the application process for the MA in digital media? Is it challenging? Well, for my experience, it is challenging. Also, because you have like a lot of anxiety throughout, because you find out only. I mean, I found out in like end of May, June that I got accepted. So you're gonna be with a lot of anxiety for a few months. But you need to write a cover letter, and you need to make sure that you are responding to the questions that they are asking, and you will find all the information on the website of the MA. And then you need to ask your professors or employers to write a letter of recommendation.
And for international student, you also have to make sure about the English requirement. The English requirement between one major to another is different. For this MA Digital Media, it's supposed to be good. You have to get 7 for the overall score, and every aspect should not be less than 6.5. That's what I remember, but you should go check out for the newest regulation for that. Actually, there's another question which said, how do you keep up with the readings, like their strategy maybe?
Yeah, so the readings is one of the things that drives me the most crazy, because there are some weeks where we have like 250 pages of PDFs of research papers to read, and sometimes I'm really like, if I need to do all of this, I would have to read all the time. The best technique is to start reading as soon as the readings come out, so don't leave them to the weekend. And then I guess it is to just like my strategy. I like to take notes when I read, and obviously this slows me down because I'm not just reading, I'm also taking notes. But then if I do this, then I actually remember the readings, and I don't need to like go back to them at the end. So I guess that is my strategy. What about you?
For me, usually I will do like a skimming for starter abstract,
like the subheadings of the
subheadings of each part, and then like go straight to the conclusion. So I get like the big idea of what it's going to be like, and it will help me out with the rest of the reading. So yeah, that's for me.
Yeah, that's actually like what teachers suggest, to read the abstract and the conclusion first, so you know if it's gonna be helpful, and then read the whole thing or not. Yeah.
Well, that's all, guys. Can't believe the last question. So I hope we answered all your questions and hope you will enjoy our podcast.
Yes, and if you have any more questions, please feel free to send them, and we'll answer them in the next video.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification button. I'm Nadia.
And I'm Ippolita.
And see you.
Bye-bye.
Hey guys, I'm with cool tutors here. It's Christy, Karen, and Kata. We just did the gender and digital media module. So what do you guys think about this cohort?
Well, we have a very fun bunch and very lively bunch. I learned a lot from the students as well, so I'm very hardworking.
Yeah, really? What do you think?
Yeah, you worked really hard today.
Also, what do you think, Kata?
Yeah, I thought that all of the groups did an amazing job today.
Great, thank you. And what's your advice for we are going to write dissertation and everything? Maybe like 1 or 2 advice?
Start early.
Start early.
Find something that you're passionate about.
Oh, thank you. That would be really useful for us.
Like do your readings. Readings are important. Widely. Read widely.
Oh, thank you. Bye-bye. Wish us luck.
All the best.
All the best.
1, 2, 3.
We're living in the world which is increasingly saturated by media and technology.
So we hope that you learned something new about the digital world from this podcast. Thank you for listening.
Stay tuned for more episodes only at Media and Tech Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification button.
Bye.